vola ngwela o veteronugu, ako itabua. Ako do talitaina na barongo na Bula FM, nambandu na sere.
Bula, alang gonoa, ilutoka do talita ka na Bula FM berarti ni nambandu na sere.
Ni Bula binaka, nanreke ngosa Bula FM nga. Na kasi.
Nalang gosa mundu activism na Bula FM nambandu na sere nusuri.
Ni Bula binaka, nalang go Jerry, yang melambasa. Do barongo na Bula FM.
Bula FM, number 2 and seri.
In the news tonight, Parliament Secretariat refutes forced resignation allegations. Suicide at an all-time high. And FDB works on satisfying Green Climate Fund conditions.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Acting Secretary-General to Parliament Viniana Namosi Malua is refuting allegations that a staff member was forced to resign over leaked videos of the August 9th altercation between Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama and the now suspended opposition MP Pio Tikunduandua. Namosi Malua, speaking exclusively to FBC News, said there was a serious breach of conduct by the former parliamentary staffer who admitted sharing the video. Despite this, the acting SG says the staff member was given the option of resigning or being terminated. Maggie Boyle with the story.
I'd like to put the record straight, and I'm really here to talk about the truth.
The ASG said Elias Sarandonduva resigned on his own accord after first admitting to a serious breach of conduct.
He had taken it to his village, but could not have shared. He said that he did not share because he did not have a laptop. So I asked him one final time whether he was telling me the truth, and he then admitted that he did share it. He did share it with others.
She says there were clear instructions after the events of 9th August, and they were not followed.
The video was taken on Parliament's official camera during official hours, and therefore the property of Parliament. It was shared without any authorization, and more importantly, there were standing instructions on how the footage was to be dealt with. And that is, it would be kept with me, the only copy with me, and then provided to the police when they came to Parliament to investigate.
Meanwhile, the ASG clarified that the person who actually shot the video was not on staff.
Has not lost his job. He still has a contract with the UNDP, and he's still currently employed there by the organization. He, in fact, was on attachment with us, with the Fiji Parliament, and he was assisting us in our media unit.
It's unclear how many copies of the video were made before it was first released on social media. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
In the first 8 months of this year, 88 Fijians committed suicide, while 82 attempted suicide. 39 of those deaths were recorded in the Western Division alone. Lifeline Fiji held a public vigil last night to commemorate International Suicide Prevention Day and also provided a platform for those who've survived and those who work in the area of mental health to share their stories. Maggie Boyle attended the vigil and filed this report.
I just had enough. I was up to here.
As a survivor, Hager Holmes is urging others to rise above their challenges.
Not only did I survive from that, from being sexually abused, I also survived from bipolar mental illness. And I'm a survivor, I'm a survivor.
Outspoken advocate on suicide prevention, psychotherapist Selena Corleza used the vigil to remind everyone that help is always available.
But instead, people have chosen, for many reasons, at looking at suicide. I want to reaffirm today that suicide is never an option. Suicide should not be an option.
Over a decade of working in the mental health sector, Lionel Rogers highlighted that the number of men taking their own lives is increasing.
More women. Because of our culture that we can't talk about our emotions. We can't cry. Why? I'm not ashamed to cry today because of the number of young people we have to put in the grave very early who won't be able to live their dreams.
A vigil to remember World Suicide Prevention Day ending today with an ode to those past and a reaffirmation for those surviving, to those struggling, letting them know that help is available and that life is meant for living. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
One of the study reports on the Nadi River project will be completed by next month. This was highlighted by Attorney General Ayasaid Kayum at the Nadi River Flood Alleviation Project's workshop. As Felipe Naikaso reports, Fiji and Japan have also collaborated on a comprehensive flood control master plan for Nadi.
The groundwork on the Nadi River project is expected to commence soon.
We've had a lot of interest in this, and the Japanese government has very graciously and very generously suggested that part of the work will be done by way of grant, in particular with the Section A, but also then we have the component of Section B, which is actually the most expensive part, where the funding will come through by way of loan, through possibly through the Japanese government, through JICA. We have interest from, of course, ADB.
The project is critical since Nadi is the gateway to Fiji, and for many years the town and surrounding areas have flooded during periods of heavy rain. The Attorney General has also urged stakeholders present to ensure the project begins at its earliest, as it's critical for Nadi.
There are certain legacy issues we have to deal with. There are certain drainage systems that in Nadi town, that through corruption, those drainage systems were actually narrowed. Buildings were allowed to be built on those drains back in the 90s and the early 2000s.
The project is expected to cost around $400 million and is essential to improving management of flooding in Nadi, Fiji's important hub for tourism. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
The Fiji Development Bank is in the process of satisfying conditions that come with being accredited by the Green Climate Fund. This was highlighted in FDB's 2018 annual report that was today presented to the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Economic Affairs. Lena Rees has more.
Fiji Development Bank Chief Executive Mark Clough highlighted that they have already initiated 2 projects that will be evaluated by the Green Climate Fund.
The electric bus project within Suva, as well as an agricultural renewable energy project on Overlau.
When questioned by committee member Rofilipe Tuisawa on the conditions to the accreditation, Clough says FDB has met 11 of the conditions.
I note you in the annual report it's mentioned there that the application was successful or submitted, but there are a few compliance issues that you need to
that we've fulfilled all but 1 or 2 of those conditions, with the latest being the finalisation of quite a comprehensive enterprise risk management framework. There are 1 or 2 others that are outstanding. That hasn't prevented us from exploring our first projects.
The Fiji Development Bank is working on other projects under the Green Climate Fund that include housing resilience as well as water security and water quality. Now, the Green Climate Fund supports developing countries' efforts to adapt their economies to climate change through low emission and climate resilient initiatives. Lena Rees, FBC News.
An independent investigation has found some merit to allegations by USP Vice-Chancellor Professor Pal Aluwalia. BDO Auckland was commissioned to investigate allegations relating to human resources and salaries. It found that oversight, governance and control of remuneration is a key weakness because of the current policy is complex, fragmented, outdated and not fit for purpose. As a result, mechanisms have been exploited, leading to major cash leakages. Allowances have been paid to staff for a number of contract renewals, and BDO recommends a full review of allowances. Responsibility and acting allowances have also been paid to some staff extensively, inflating their total salary package. According to BDO, multiple bonuses have been paid extensively to some of the staff, and a culture of entitlement to bonuses has developed at USP. Up ahead, roadside trash is a problem in Nasinu, and public demands more of real estate agents. Details after the break.
Hi, Bula. I'm Selai from Nadi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, my name is Sotiama here in Ba. We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, I'm Miri. I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Hi, my name is Fiona from Tavua and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, I'm Ini from Raki Raki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The government will continue to assist communities urgently in need of a boost to their climate change resilience practices. During the launch of the Global Commission on Adaptation report in Avedo Vatu Tailevu yesterday, Climate Change Minister Ayasaid Kayum stressed adaptation and resilience must be done now. Sanya Nimboila reports.
The planting of Isbatiba grass will halt severe soil erosion at the Avedo Vatu riverbank in Tailevu.
Like so many other climate vulnerable communities, your village has had to adapt to new climate threats to your security. The erosion of your riverbank has poured floodwater from the Wainimbuka River into your homes and community buildings. But thanks to an innovative, nature-based solution, we're staving off these floodwaters and preserving your community's security.
The Avedo Vatu village has become a model for climate vulnerable communities around the world. Syed Kayum says due to the increasing effects of climate change, it's crucial to work towards being resilient.
The need to build our resilience to climate impacts grows more urgent by the day. For that very reason, Fiji has also emerged as a global champion for the cause of climate adaptation, spurring the world to put resources behind real solutions that adapt vulnerable communities to climate impacts.
The villagers are grateful with assistance provided by the government.
We used to experience riverbank erosion before, and it has risked our lives. And with the introduction of vertebra grass since the beginning of this year, erosion is now no more.
This grass is soil invasive. It removes water pollutants and also promotes soil conservation. Meanwhile, the government is also looking at undertaking these similar projects in 22 other communities along the Wainimbuka River. Sainia Nimboila, FBC News.
2 Fijians will be joining climate activists at this year's UN Climate Summit in New York. The youths will represent the region as Pacific warriors at the summit. Alicia Zimabano and Komal Kumar will join 3 others from the Pacific to engage with world leaders on their stance on climate change and its impact on small island nations.
The key things is young people's involvement in addressing SDGs, especially at the grassroots levels. My group Active Network does this annual event called Youth Fest, and this year for one of our workshops we had over 20 young people participate, and it was sort of an eye-opener for us.
Don't have the time to keep proposing what we can do to tackle the climate crisis. This is the time, as re-emphasized by the United Nations Secretary General, to come with a plan, to show what the governments and policymakers can really do.
A number of households in the Nasinu area are not abiding by the conditions set out for garbage collection. The Nasinu Town Council is the only municipality collecting garbage on a daily basis. However, people are not putting out their trash in time for collection. Kelly Vadala reports.
Many residents in Nasinu are being irresponsible with their garbage disposal.
They were complaining about the residents not throwing the rubbish properly. So I asked them, I said, why is that? Why isn't Nasinu Town Council providing that service? And that's when I learned that in Nasinu, collection is on a daily basis. In other words, 5 days rubbish is collected. And I'm talking about this informal settlement where they do not even pay rates. And yet they're getting daily service.
Local Government Minister Pramila Kumar is urging the ratepayers to help the government create a cleaner environment and waste-free public spaces.
Previously, when it came to rubbish collection, ratepayers had to pay for it, and that's where the matter ended. But here, knowing very well that in Nasinu, there are a lot of informal settlements, and therefore the government is now paying or subsidizing the collection of rubbish.
Meanwhile, the Japanese government has provided over $40,000 to the Nasinu Town Council to buy 2 garbage compactor trucks.
Waste management is not only about sanitation, hygiene, and disease control. It is also for preserving and protecting our environment.
Japan has been providing continued assistance to grassroots communities in the country, and so far they've implemented over 370 projects. Kelly Vathala, FBC News.
A number of new issues were brought to light by the public in relation to the real estate sector during the Real Estate Licensing Board's roadshows. Chair Dr. Abdul Hassan says the most common complaint was that real estate agents are not disclosing full details of properties on sale to their clients. Kritika Kumar reports.
The public is once again being reminded to seek full disclosures before engaging in real estate dealings.
What we're trying to do is to alert the people and educate them regarding the real estate sector activities in terms of buying and selling of properties. What are the process that people have to follow.
RealB is now working on setting guidelines for all real estate agents.
We'll lay down a format on which where the agents would have to disclose all the essential information that is required by the clients.
The roadshows currently underway are being used as a platform to gather information about the activities carried out by the agents.
We have managed to identify other areas where our educational programs need to be going in terms of educating our salespeople. Major issues which also was highlighted is that people are not giving, the real estate agents are not giving the clients proper disclosures.
After successful roadshows in the Northern Division, the team has moved to the Western Division. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
8 people pleaded not guilty in the Suva Magistrates Court to charges of allegedly defrauding the Fiji National Provident Fund of over $49,000 between March and April. Former FNPF employee Jack Edward Hiramatsu, former Ithauke Land Trust Board clerk Rufina Garnivalu, together with Taniela Samutitonga, Temo Tuilailai, Vereti Sawanga, Salote Darangeti, Merione Ndrawe, and Milio Rayawa all pleaded not guilty. Hiramatsu faces 4 counts of forgery and Garnivalu 1 count of forgery. It is alleged that Hiramatsu made a false valuation report, while Garnivalu made a false certificate of title to obtain a gain. The rest each face 1 count of using forged documents and 1 count of obtaining financial advantage by deception. It is alleged they posed as prospective land buyers, using forged certificates of title to make an FNPF housing assistance withdrawal of $49,300. Hiramatsu and Garnivalu are further remanded, while 5 others are on bail. The case will be recalled on the 25th of this month for mention. The Fiji Broadcasting Corporation today gave 7 refurbished computers to Mbainivalu Primary School in Akasi. The students have been advised to understand the pros and cons of using computers and utilize them for their rightful purpose. School head teacher Noah Mbole says the timely donation will also assist teachers and students in preparing for the upcoming annual and external examinations.
We will see that our children will make good use of the donations, especially as we almost reaching the exam week and when we finish with them.
And it's business time now with Kelly.
Thanks, Jackie. Coming up, FDB profits for 2018 drops. And in growing Fiji, FCES reports strong performance from mills. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nadi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulaloba. और हम सब मिर्ची FM सुनता है because it's hot.
Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's #1.
हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है. हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और कहीं भी रहता हम लोग खाली मिर्ची FM सुनता. Golton Tava में मिर्ची FM दागो मामा.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Leading business profits of the Fiji Development Bank dropped from $8.1 million in 2017 to $7.4 million last year. This was highlighted by FDB Chief Executive while presenting the 2018 annual report to the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Economic Affairs. He says despite the reduction, this is still seen as an expectable result as FDB's assets grew from $402 million to $467 million last year.
Our loan portfolio increased from 438 million to 487 million. Within that loan portfolio, the mix is approximately 45% in the focus sectors, dominated by agriculture, and 55% in non-focus sectors, usually dominated by real estate, resorts, manufacturing and the like.
Housing Authority has appointed Robert Sen as its new chief executive. Jen Nesbitt Hazelman says they're delighted that Sen comes with the right skill set and personal capability to lead the authority. Sen has an outstanding career to date in the public and private sectors, where his primary responsibilities involved management and finance. Having worked in bodies such as the Fiji Roads Authority will allow him to keep an eye for detail in shifting Housing Authority into a new direction. And Sinifa from HFC Bank joins us with the latest from the money market.
Fragile investor confidence supported the US dollar and weakened the Japanese yen today, but currency markets kept to tight ranges ahead of a series of major central bank meetings over the next week. Investor focus for now is centered on the European Central Bank's meeting tomorrow, which is expected to push interest rates even further into negative territory. For now, a less cautious mood has prevailed after the easing of political crisis shuffled markets from Britain to Hong Kong, resulting in the weakening of purchases of the safe haven yen. Overhanging the relief buying, however, are signs of a slowdown in global demand, offsetting recent positive developments in US-China trade negotiations. Meanwhile, Australian consumers turned pessimistic about September, despite signs of revival in the housing market, as concerns about the near-term economic outlook weighed in. That's all for now from HFC Bank, Vinaka.
Thanks, Sinifa. Here are today's exchange rates as set this morning. After a recent trend of rising against most major currencies, with the exception of the Australia and New Zealand dollars, today the Sagamoli rose against both the Kiwi and the Aussie, as well as the Japanese yen, but slipped slightly against the other currencies we cover. On the commodities market, oil prices dropped to just under $58 per barrel. Gold continued its descent to $1,491 per ounce, and silver was at $18.10 per ounce. In growing Fiji, the three sugar mills have collectively crushed a total of 841,000 tons of cane to date. The Fiji Sugar Corporation says despite the rainy weather, crushing momentum remains upbeat and progressive, as both Lautoka and Lambasa mills have crossed the 300,000 tons mark of cane crushed, while the Rarawai mill has crushed around 200,000 of cane after 9 weeks. The FSC is warning cane growers and cutters to remember the dangers of burning cane, as it will not only affect the environment and sugar quality as well. That's it from Business Tonight. Sports is up next with Jamie.
Thanks, Kelly, and good evening in Sports Tonight. And baseball, Fiji pushing for increased female participation in the sport. There's some more coming up.
Natango meria maramani waya manatu sawa aweti kitunde nandi ya ndo marata kana baronga na radio Fiji 1
yawa asna datili yawa maga monika tondo baronga vale bunar domai biti Lambasa
bula natango aprosa ngarse ngor kraki do talebe na baronga na radio Fiji 1 na domai biti natango tsane bukia ngoni na mosi ando taleta kana baronga na radio Fiji 1 na domai biti so
Radio Fiji 1 na domai.
Flying Fijians coach John McKee says the last match between Fiji and the Wallabies 2 years ago has helped him and his coaching staff. McKee believes many of his players who featured in that very competitive game against the Wallabies in 2007 will carry that extra bit of confidence going into next week's match.
I guess it's always tough coming out after the 2 weeks grueling session. It's been really tough for the boys.
In the last World Cup, Fiji failed to beat any of the big teams in its pool, including England, Australia and Wales.
The Rugby World Cup just got a whole lot closer for the Wallabies after arriving in Japan late Monday night. The Fijian draw wants nothing less than a win when they take on New South Wales country in Australia this Saturday. Following a draw to Brisbane City and a loss to Western Force, coach Senirusi Serubakula is demanding full attention and effort from his players this weekend.
This is the most important game. This is the most important game. We had that talk in the meeting. We can't afford to lose this week. So we need to prepare well and body on the line on Saturday.
Baseball Fiji is making attempts to increase female participation in the sport. Baseball and Softball Association of Fiji Development Officer Inoke Nyumbalavu says while a number of girls turned up for their clinic last Saturday at John Wesley College, they are also trying to rope in a few former players. Faria Begum with this report.
The Baseball and Softball Association are looking at reviving softball for women in Fiji.
So we are encouraging women to take up not baseball, but we are trying to revive our softball program. So we got a few women, girls that joined last week Saturday.
Nyumbalavu says the last time there was a softball team was in 2006.
We have a few senior women softball players that were playing before, so we are trying to bring them back in for them to be part of the committee and for them to take charge of the women's softball program.
New coach Taka Hironishio has been adjusting well to Fijian baseball since arriving from Japan.
So there's nothing I want to change, but if I need to say I want to change mindset of the players.
The association has decided they will hold baseball clinics every Saturday of this month to attract more female participants interested in the sport. Faria Begum, FBC Sports.
There's a number of exciting matches lined up in the Vodafone Premier League this weekend, with all teams playing their final games. Rewa needs a win or draw against Tavoa to remain in the Premier Division, while Tavoa needs to defeat Rewa by 5 clear goals to avoid relegation. The Delta Tigers are currently 7th on the points table with 12, whereas Tavoa sit at the bottom with 9. The two sides meet 3 p.m. this Saturday at the Uprising Sports Centre in Navua. England's relentless march towards Euro 2020 continued with a thrilling 5-3 victory over Kosovo this morning. That's it from sports and new media. After the break, take a look at Apple's refreshed line of iPhones for 2019. Details coming up.
रहता है हमारा नाम उमेश कुमार, हम रहता है रेलू और रेडियो फीजी में हर तरफ सुनता है, बहुत पुराना गाना लगे और बहुत रोचक सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा लगे हमको।
उमेश चंद्रा और कांता चंद्रा हमारा वाइफ है, हम लोग रेडियो फीजी 2 बहुत सुंदर से सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम, नंबर 1 रेडियो। कुमार स्वामी नायक है, गोंगवा लुगु लटोका, रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे, हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे। कुमार नाकाफी में रहता है, रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनता है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
Tonight we take a look at iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max first impressions. Apple's new Pro phones also come with better displays and longer battery life. And it's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It's only Wednesday. We have 2 more days to go before the wonderful weekend. Well, the weather outside has decided to upset our moods, but don't worry much about it. Now to the west, okay, it's never ideal when it rains on a vacation, but this probably isn't the first time it has rained in a vacation town, and I'm pretty sure life goes on even when things get wet. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, oh well, 2 days of sunshine was sufficient for this side. Now let's challenge some showers. And up north, showers made sure to be here. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. For the tides, low tide tonight at 11:05 with high tide at 5:14 a.m. Sunrise will be at 6 a.m. For tomorrow, like Vivian Green once wrote, life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, it's about learning to dance in the rain, and that's exactly what we have to do. Tomorrow's temps, school centers due to showers. And looking further on to Friday, there is high chance of rainy conditions. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji Impulse tonight, we asked what should be done to businesses that deliberately evade tax.
Their licenses should be terminated.
I think there should be strict laws.
They should know that it's the government's money which can help other Fijians, so they should have their licenses terminated.
Harsher penalty should be taken place.
I think we should have heavy fines and harsher penalties in place so businesses are accountable for all their actions.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, a 77-year-old British woman has set the record as the oldest person to sail around the world. Recapping the main stories for tonight, Parliament Secretariat refutes forced resignation allegations. Suicide at an all-time high. And FDB works on satisfying Green Climate Fund conditions. For these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. A poll question we're asking: should there be harsher penalties imposed on bogus real estate agents? Visit our FBC website to answer. In our shot of the day, these little champs all dressed up while participating at the Rotuma Games over the long weekend, and it was sent in by Paul Severe. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, via Facebook page FBC News, via Twitter page at FBC_news or hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
We love Today FM. Today FM rocks. Bulaminaka, I'm Linda Fong. I studied Suva. I love listening to Today FM because they play latest music and they rock.
Hi, my name is Osnate. I'm from Ba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm Makareta from Nadi. We love listening to Today FM. Here in Nadi, it rocks.
Hi, I'm Shania. I'm from Lotoka and I love Today FM and it rocks.
Today's hit music on